All right, so now I have chopped up the black cod and butterfish is what they call it, or bacon of the sea. And I'm gonna use a dry brine, so I already mixed that up. It's 4 cups brown sugar, 1 cup non-iodized sea salt. And what I'll do is I'll just spread a little bit of this into my plastic Tupperware on the bottom, load fish, cover it, load fish, cover it. And so I'll show you what that looks like here in a sec. And voila, here is my dry brine, and you can kind of see the layers of fish in there. I will come back in a little while and kind of just like mix it up after it turns to a liquid. But what that's going to do, obviously, is going to introduce sugar to the fish, and the salt will also pull some of the moisture out of the fish, so it'll make it perfect for smoking. And this I will let sit in the fridge overnight, and maybe we'll get to some smoking tomorrow if all things go as planned. All right, it's the next morning, and I'm gonna see how this looks. Yeah, everything got wet, which is what you want. Draw the moisture out of the fish. It does feel a little bit tougher. And what I'm gonna do now is rinse it really, really well and place it in here. And then I'll pat dry it and take it over to my smoker rack. All right, so I got all the fish drying here. I got Yuki making waffles, and life is good. Christmas music in the background. So this I'll let sit for a good 45 minutes to 2 hours until, like, when you touch it, your finger basically sticks to it really well. And then you know it's gonna grab the smoke when you put it in the smoker. So this is the smoker I use. It's called Little Chief. It's kind of like a beginner level, but tried and true smoker. They're made in Oregon, and mine's the top load one with 1 burner. Today I'm gonna use, what am I using here? Looks like a blend of wood chips, but I'm using these kind of shredded ones. They tend to smoke up nice. And let's go ahead and put the fish in. Sorry if this is making you dizzy. All right, so it just loads in the top. Beautiful. And I'll stick this in here. And that one pan should go for about 45 minutes to maybe an hour and a half. I really only want to get the smoke flavor on these, so a cold day like today is perfect. I don't want to cook the fish much, so just kind of the outer edge. If it gets a little cooked, that's fine. But yeah, so no more than 2 pans for this process. You don't want it super smoky, and really after about 2 pans, you're not going to get it any more smoky. So it's just kind of a waste of material. All right, we'll come check on this in a little bit. Okay, here's the fish after 2 pans of smoke. And I've definitely had it look smokier than this in the past, but I think this is going to be great. And I can't wait to show you like how much it transforms in the jar after you cook it. Like this whole edge will be like almost like black. So it's kind of cool to see it now and show you the steps. So anyway, on to the next step, which is jarring, and I'll show you that when we get to it here. Okay, now we're in the stage where I'm packing jars, and I like to pack them as tight as possible and leave very little room on top here. So I'll kind of push it down. Make sure you get a lot of fish in. It's Christmas morning. These are my favorite size of jar. Like Yuki's family always uses these. A lot of Alaskan families use these. But I didn't have...
They're called a half pint.
Yeah, and I didn't have a lot of lids for them, so I have to use these other ones that I have just to make up for the process. But the cooking time will be exactly the same no matter what size the jar is. So I should say about these jars, I sanitize them in the dishwasher, clean the lids, and when I put it together, I just put it lightly on top, and I lower this down, not so it's tight, but just so it's, you know, all the way down and snug. Like this one is, you know, you can still just kind of turn it, no problem. And that will just keep that lid in place while it cooks. Okay, this is my pressure canner, and I put a base layer down in here, and I'll just load a layer of jars in there. And when I fill it up, I'm only gonna fill it up like, if this is the jar, let's say fill up the water to about there. And that'll do it for the whole 90 minutes. Actually, even if I stack several layers of jars, you only need about like that much water in the whole thing. And so I'll get that going and then fire it up. And I will cook it at, there's a pressure gauge on top here. So I will try to get it to 10 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes. So it takes a while to heat up. Once you get to 10 pounds, that's when you really got to dial in your burner and make sure that you're at the exact temperature that you want it to be at, because it's hard to kind of keep it consistent. So you got to keep an eye on it, kind of babysit it, because it creeps up slowly. But yeah, it works out great, and you definitely don't want to cook it too high because it'll dry things out. But, all right, we're about 45 minutes in, and it has been kind of a playing with fire experience to try to keep it at 10 pounds pressure there. But you can see my flame is pretty low. I just adjust it ever so slightly as it tends to creep up a little bit if I take my eye off it for more than like 10, 15 minutes. Okay, this is the moment I have been waiting for. Let's see what it looks like. Definitely smells like Black Cod. Okay, let's see. Yeah, look at that. Much darker, right? Isn't that interesting? Some of the smoke comes out, and all of that liquid is basically fat and fish oil. So it's incredibly delicious. Once this cools, they'll all be sealed. So I'm gonna pull them out of here and set them in a cardboard box in the garage to cool overnight. Here it is, the final product, and this one is for Tim. One thing I will say that I didn't yet is that I always, when I'm done, I'll wash in cold soapy water. I'll wash these cans or these jars, because they sometimes get a little bit fishy in the pressure cooker. And you know, just for sanitary reasons, I'll unscrew the lid here, and it'll stay good. You know, as long as you don't use hot water. One time I used really hot water, and of course the seal popped, which was quick learning. Anyway, man, I can't wait to give this to you. I'm gonna have Yuki bring it to your office, and man, it's just outstanding. I love it, and I look forward to learning from you and what you do and your experiences with this same process, because it's been, you know, years of trial and error for me. So, and I'm still figuring it out. Look at all that fat. Oh man. Whew. Well, I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, my friend.